It's the AJ and McCall show after the show. It feels the same. Welcome to Irma, who's subbing in this morning. And then goodbye to Producer Butter's brain because he stared at an LED lamp for a minute straight.
Yes, we did.
And
I did.
That's how it's been the last half hour. Just the brain has there's been disconnections that haven't synced back up yet.
It's just the overthought of everything.
Pretty much.
Okay, overthink this. How about this?
All right.
So, I think it was a year and a half ago, I got a mullet done, and I had to wear it for a week for charity, and I hated it. It was awful.
I think he actually looked pretty good.
Everybody says.
That's what I hear. I heard that you pulled it off.
It's on our
really
Facebook
well.
page.
Yeah.
I will
Post
have to
a
check
picture.
it out.
That being said, would you rather have a mullet you have to wear for a year, or you have to be bald for 6 months with you can't wear any wigs?
I would probably go bald.
See, that's yours. I feel like is easy because you're practically there.
Close to.
Wow.
I mean, it's not that much different. I'm not saying he's practically bald. I just mean he practically has no hair is what I mean because he shaves it so short.
Yep.
Producer Butter's hair gets half an inch long. He goes, this is ridiculous. I can't take this.
I know. It drives me insane. I can't stand it.
I feel like I have a funny shaped head. So as much as I hated the mullet, I don't think I can pull off bald.
Well, I'd have to see it shaved first before I could determine that.
Well, it's never going to happen.
That's a fair assumption. As a girl with curly hair, I don't think a mullet would be the best idea for me. So
Curly mullet.
No, I'd probably go bald and just wear makeup for the rest of the 6 months.
What if you just drew on like your hair, like with like a
such
magic marker?
Arduous process every day. Every day you'd have to draw on your hair. It's gonna be green today.
It's gonna be green and purple and
do like a
Pipe cleaners.
no, like what do you call it? A temporary tattoo.
Ooh,
Oh.
okay.
yeah, that
I could
sounds fun.
I could maybe get behind you, but I get all this crap already about getting a lip ring piercing. Can you imagine? I come in, like, don't tell anybody, right? I tell literally no one. I come in the next day. Everybody saw me the day before. I come in, my head is shaved, and I've got a tattoo on top of my head. People would walk into walls staring at me. They'd be like,
What is this deal?
What just happened?
so, like, did you join a gang?
Are you going through something? Are you okay?
Are you okay? Are you doing
Did
okay?
your girlfriend die?
What is going
What's
on?
going on? Yeah.
Did we walk into a soap opera and this is your evil twin, J.A., that we didn't know about? That's what would happen.
What's going on? Where's AJ and what have you done with him?
It might be worth it the first day. Afterwards, I don't think it would be worth it anymore.
Yes. I don't have any tattoos, so I just can't see myself putting like any tattoos like on myself, like I guess up in the head region.
Oh, never for me. Never the face, never the head. I can't even imagine doing the neck.
Well, I came really close to getting my eyeliner tattooed a few
Well, I
years
think
ago.
that's a little different though.
I mean, but it's still a tattoo. Needles near your eye. It's scary.
Well, yes.
Pass. I put context in, but pass. Hard pass.
Mm-mm.
Wait, so what and why was the tattoo going to be then?
like it was just gonna be my eyeliner.
Oh,
on my eye.
got it.
Yeah.
He just pulled a producer Butters.
He did. I was like,
I
wait.
knew where we were talking about. I just didn't realize that's what we were talking about.
No, that way I would just wake
okay.
up,
Love
wash my
and
face.
Done.
All done.
I'm just going to stare at the lamp for a little bit.
I think it's contagious. So maybe I should like scoot over a little.
The stupidity is spreading. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I am going to come in bald and be like, you know what? This is actually a good idea. Oh, jeez.
That's funny.
Yes.
Okay, would you ever get a tattoo then?
Me?
Yeah.
I've thought about it, but I just don't know where and what.
I feel like, see, that's the floodgate. Because, like, unless you just unless you do it when you're young, I think, and you're like, I'm just going to get one, and you get something stupid. Like, if the older you get, I think it's tougher to talk yourself into it. But if you find something you want and do it, then I think this, like, it happens. Everybody I know that's gotten it suffers the same thing. Everybody says the same thing. I got to get more tattoos. Like, I'm in the mindset. I have, like, 4 designed. I just don't have the money to pay for them.
That's the key.
Yeah,
That is
they're
the key.
they're
Money
not
is the key.
they're not the cheapest of things.
I think that I would probably get like a cancer symbol. Not as in like cancer the cancer, but cancer is in like the astrology thing.
I think most of us figured that. Nobody was like, wait, really? We've been talking about bald heads and he's going to go with that for a tattoo?
Cancer
That's what he's gonna
Awareness
do?
Month.
So you want to get a little crab?
Yeah, or a yin yang.
The yin yang is a cool symbol.
Yin yang is a cool symbol. I was gonna get my sisters and I are thinking about getting a blueberry on our big toe, just because of our last name in Spanish is blueberries. So
That's funny.
Interesting.
my sisters are too chicken though. I'm down for it.
I was the first one. I was the first one to do everything, and my brother is like real straight path or whatever. And then he got drunk one night with his wife and her best friend, who was her maid of honor, and they got one, and now he has. I think he just has two now. So and I have two, but like that's how it started for him. And my oldest sister, I think, has like 5 now, and she'll turn. What's your 22? She'll turn 22 in August.
So what do you think about a sleeve?
That's one of the ones I want to do.
I think they're cool.
I think they're cool. Well, if it's done right. I've seen some sleeves that
That's
aren't
what
that good.
terrifies me. You got to find the right artist.
Yeah, you have to do it right. Otherwise, it just doesn't look right. My nieces have tattoos, all of them. Well, all the ones that are 18 and older.
Out of the womb, tattoo.
Yes.
This is now your identifier.
6.
Oh, jeez.
Sagittarius.
Exactly. Speaking of ridiculous, okay, so producer Butters has heard about my friend in Denver. Irma, you haven't, but so I got a buddy. So I have 3 best friends. We're all roughly the same age, but my 3 friends were all born in '88, so they're a year older than I am. And so one of my best friends, married, has kid, has house. Another one of my best friends has a house, been in a relationship 8 years. I've been in a relationship 5 years, but my other his longest relationship was his relationship in college, 2.5 years. Right? He's been perpetually single ever since. So,
Which is more than me, so that's fine.
right.
I feel that.
I guess we're comparing it to producer Butters. So I was talking to him the other day, and he was telling me that he will not drive further than 20 minutes for a date. And I said, that is absolutely ridiculous to me. That is nothing. That he's in Denver, so it's a big city, so 20 minutes has got to be nothing. But I was like, even here, that's like Hiram to Smithfield. That's all you'll drive? That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
I think for me, depending on where I lived. So if where I live now, yes, I'll drive 2 hours for a date.
Right.
But if I lived in Salt Lake, I probably wouldn't want to go outside of the like Salt Lake Valley area. So maybe like Provo and into Salt Lake, but I
Okay.
probably wouldn't come up to Logan for a date.
I will listen to this from that standpoint because that somewhat makes sense. But I just wanted to give him crap because, like, I, once upon a time, when I lived back home, drove 2 hours to pick a girl up, drove 2 hours back home because that's where we were spending time, then took her back home, and then I drove home. I drove 8 hours in a day. And no, it was not worth it, but I did that.
I have done that too, and it's not worth it.
It's stupid.
I have not done that. If I drive 2 hours to meet somebody, we are hanging out where we're meeting over there, and then I'll drive back, and that's fine. But yeah, for a date, I have driven 2 hours, but generally the date takes place where they are.
That would be prudent time management, it would seem. One time I was dating this girl, and we lived 2.5 hours apart, and I was driving up to see her, and she's nuts, so she freaked out, and I was driving back roads because it's one of those things where the interstate just doesn't connect totally from my town to hers, and so I turned around, and I was driving home, and as I was driving home on a farm road, something, no idea what, ran across the road. I totaled my car. I completely crashed. I wiped out. And so she was like, oh, I can't believe you're coming up. I'm not ready, blah, 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 blah. And it's like 2.5 hours. I'm like, I'm not magically there in 15 minutes. But then she was like, well, when are you coming up? And I'm like, I'm not. I totaled my car. I'm going home. I don't want to talk right now. Please leave me alone. And then she was super mad because she's like, you blame me for this. I'm like, no, I'm pissed because my trunk is in my back seat. And leave me alone. So moral of the story is driving 2 hours is clearly not worth it for a date.
Okay, so let me ask this. So you get there, and you, like, I don't know, pull in their driveway, park, whatever. How long do you wait for them to come out?
Before you like text or something? Or what do you?
Or no, you've already texted, "Hey, I'm here." How long do you wait until you're like, "Yeah, I'm going home"?
I don't know that I would go home. I would text again. Probably. I don't. That's one of those things. I think the anticipation would kill you. So you sit there, right, and you're like, whenever you're waiting for something, like, oh gosh, it's got to have been like 5 minutes by now. 30 seconds. What?
Yeah.
So I think that would be one of those things where you're like, all right, 5 minutes. Gotta give it 5. I think I would wait for a while. I would think.
Yeah, I generally would wait a while, and if they don't come out, I would be like, all right, I'm coming in.
Yeah, I don't think I would just turn around and leave.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do that.
Especially if I drove that far.
You've never met them before, and you would just like turn around, or you just go right in.
Oh,
no, I wouldn't
like,
do that.
Yeah, no, if it's like a first date or like a blind date, no, I wouldn't do that.
I think I would like text after like 5 minutes, and then if another 5 minutes went by, I would call and be like, "Did you die? Like, what's going on?"
I'd give it like 15 minutes.
And you're just gone?
You alive? What happened?
Peace, deuces.
You're just not even paying attention.
And then I'm giving up for a while. So. It's the story of my life, so it's fine.
Look, one of these days, buddy, it's gonna go your way.
Hopefully.
Okay,
One day.
what's the longest long distance relationship you've done?
Yeah.
That's a solid answer.
Yes.
Like in terms of like distance or states, whatever it was, like you could say like Utah. I don't need to like that.
Oh, like you want distance, not
Yeah. States, miles, whatever you measured it in.
Well, I was in a relationship with somebody who lived in Texas while I lived in Georgia.
That sounds far.
That is far. That's a 20-hour drive.
Beat mine.
This is going to sound like a major red flag, but I haven't had a relationship that ever lasted. So, or like more than a day. So it's fine.
I think we know who the problem is.
Anybody want to date a red flag? Please let me know.
That awkward moment when.
Look, as someone who exclusively worked in the palette of red all through college, it can get better. No, you beat mine, Irma, because when I was in college, I dated a girl. I was in Indiana, and she was in Denver. She was
California.
in Denver. No, she was in Denver. No, that one moved. I was dating a girl that twice moved from West Lafayette, Indiana to Los Angeles and said nothing.
She just left.
She just left. Legit, the first time it happened, she had graduated, but she was still in town, and I was still in school at Purdue. I went to take a final, and for whatever reason, we were exchanging emails, which feels like an old sentence, but I graduated college in 2014, so I don't know. But we're exchanging emails, and I emailed her. I said, I'm about to sit down and take a final. Do you want to get together tonight, tomorrow night to have dinner because I'm done with the semester? And she emails me back, and she goes, oh, well, I can't. I got a modeling thing. And I was like, oh, okay, where are you doing that at? And she's L.A., and I was like, were you, like, gonna say anything?
Did you actually meet this lady?
I had classes with her.
Oh.
We dated.
Oh.
And she was like, I don't understand. She was legitimately did not understand why I was pissed. I was like, you moved from Indiana to California and said nothing. We spent a Valentine's Day together after she did that. She did it a second time.
That's great. I don't know. I think like big moves. I didn't tell my friend, like I didn't tell a lot of people that I moved when I moved here to Utah, but I think I told like the important people in my life.
If you were dating someone though, wouldn't it be you would give them the heads up like, by the way, I'm moving across the country.
I mean, yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, BTW, everything's packed in my
breaking up,
car.
I'm
because
moving.
I'm moving.
So not a breakup one. When I got the job in Las Cruces, which is like one of the southernmost points of New Mexico. So I interviewed for the job and I wasn't sure and I was on the fence and I asked them for more money and they're like, I don't know. And then they got mad. So like, you got 48 hours to respond. So I had talked to my dad and my brother about it and that was it. So the 48 hours, by the time it came up, I went through the whole thing starting on Monday. The 48 hours ended on the Friday and that's when I made my decision. That Friday at the beginning of the week, I made plans to have dinner with my mom, but this had not come up beforehand and I just didn't get around to it. The first thing I say when I sit down, because how are things going? I say, I accepted a job in New Mexico. I leave in 2 weeks.
Not my.
That actually sounds like my conversation too.
I mean, it just didn't get brought up ahead of time. And then I was like, well, heads up, like I'm leaving.
That's probably the best way to go about
There
it.
you go. I mean, there's no thoughts about it.
You could have just been like, I'm moving. Sorry. That's what I did.
Just not say. I mean, I have experience to that. She'd be like, "Hey, do you want to get together for dinner?" I'm in New Mexico.
That's what, I literally did that. I went in and I said to my parents, I'm moving today. I got an apartment. Bye.
That quite short
They're like, why? Well, because I knew they would talk me out of it. So
yeah, that's fair. I mean, she was like, I was like, I already accepted, so I'm gone.
I already said it.
Oh, jeez. And then I got to serve 30 minutes of my 2-week notice. It was awesome. It's true. This has been the AJ and McCall show. After the show!